Hey, what's up guys, Hydra453 here and welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, I'm doing a quick review of the Razer Viper Mini. I'm going to be covering the differences from the original Razer Viper, as well as going over the new changes like the weight being different. Of course, the shape is a lot different, so we're doing a shape comparison with a few of the mice that I have on hand at the moment, some similar ambidextrous ones, and pretty much just going over the basics like that. Before we get into that stuff though, I don't want to quickly apologize for not making a video recently. It's been like 2 weeks since my last video, so normally I got a video out within every single week, but I actually ended up switching setups, so you might be able to tell already, but yes, my setup is a lot more different here because quick temporary one, I'm just staying with my mum for a little while, so I do apologize for that. Hopefully the video is okay. The microphone might be different, some stuff like that, but try my best to keep it as high quality as usual. But yeah, enough rambling on guys, let's go ahead and start with the actual review. Alright, so as you guys likely already know, the Razer Viper Mini is the successor to the original Razer Viper. You guys might have noticed that on the r/mouse review subreddit, a lot of people were actually kind of asking for a smaller Razer Viper. And thankfully Razer delivered. So I know this mouse has been out for quite a while, but it seems to have still quite a decent amount of hype around it, mainly because it's really cheap for what you get. Not like cheap in a bad way, like cheaply made or anything like that, but it's like really good value. You get an incredible gaming mouse for what you pay for it. I think partially the reason why it's a lot cheaper is because of the size. So a lot of people would usually think that a smaller mouse, is not really great or whatever, it doesn't fill that whole hand. But that's completely wrong. So if you guys watch a lot of Rocket Jump Ninja mouse reviews or something like that, you might have heard him say quite a few times that a smaller mouse is better. I never really realized that. I never really, understood that really. I sort of just thought that no size mouse is any better. I still sort of hold that statement today. I sort of don't really think any size mouse is any better. But for me personally, and I've got quite large hands and I do use a sort of relaxed claw grip, a smaller mice have always been better for my grip style and aiming. This mouse has been incredible for that. So I always used to stick to small mice, but this mouse is just, it's something different. I'm not really sure what about it is. I just really love the way that it feels. It just feels incredible. It's very easy to control. I guess I saw a good analogy on Reddit somewhere where it's sort of like, imagine trying to draw or like write with a massive huge pen or pencil, like a really big one, like a zucchini or something like that, or a cucumber. Imagine trying to draw with that on a if it was the size of that as a pen. Trying to draw compared to like a really tiny little normal sized pen. The smaller one is going to be a lot more precise and easier to write with compared to the large one. So the same goes for mice. People sort of think that a smaller one is usually better, and in general, and I think that's usually going to be right. So if you have to choose between the Razer Viper and the Razer Viper Mini, I would probably say go for the Razer Viper Mini, just because even if you had to adjust your grip style for it, it'll probably be better for you in the long run. Now, of course, the shape is not the only thing that's different from the original Razer Viper. Razer also ended up changing the clicks to be a bit more clicky, I guess, and the weight is also different, as well as a new lighting feature on the bottom of the mouse as well. So we're going to cover those things now. So with the clicks, they do feel a lot more sort of clicky, I guess, more crispier feeling than the original Razer Viper. They are still the optical switches that they said, so just as advertised, they are the optical laser ones. I'm not really sure what difference that really makes, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie guys, I kind of think it's a bit of a gimmick with that whole laser optical switches thing. I mean, it is true that there is no debouncing on this mouse. That's never happened to me once, but I've used multiple different switches on different mice, and honestly, I never really come into a problem with like debouncing problems. I mean, obviously, I can't really speak from experience from like a G Pro Wireless standpoint or whatever, because I've never actually owned that mouse before. So lots of people with that mouse on Reddit and that sort of stuff complaining that I have double clicking issues. So I guess that would never have happened on this Razer mouse. But I've had multiple different mice, like I said before, and I've never had that problem happen to me. So I wouldn't actually pay extra for having optical switches in this mouse if that was an option, but it isn't an option, and it doesn't even cost that much anyway. So I guess it's kind of a good thing, but I do still prefer the clicks on other mice in a traditional switch. They still feel pretty nice. They just feel a little bit sort of, I don't know, sort of hollow feeling. I'm going to do a sound test for you guys in a second. You can go back to the start if you would like to see the timestamp for that. But just to sort of describe the click, it just feels a little bit sort of hollow and not as like crispy as a click on like say a Xiaomi mouse or something like that, or an XM1. Now I'm going to do a shape comparison as well. You can like I said before, you can go back to the very start of the video for the timestamp, but the shape reminds me a lot of the Ultralight 2. So I used to actually own that mouse. I still really wish I had it. I ended up selling that mouse, but I kind of wish I kept it anyway, just for the sake of comparison. But as soon as I ended up picking up this mouse, it immediately reminded me of the Ultralight 2. That shape is just so damn similar. It's not like, obviously the Ultralight 2 is a lot smaller than this anyways. It's not like, don't go buying this thinking it's the same shape. It's not. It just reminds me a lot of that mouse just because it's so small. I don't actually have any other mice that are this small as the Viper Mini. But it's not the point where it gets like it's so small that it's uncomfortable to use. I've got very large hands, 18 by 10 centimeters, and I usually use a relaxed claw. Sort of, I guess you could sort of call it a palm, but with this mouse, I don't know, it's not possible for me to palm it. But I kind of just sort of do a relaxed claw, like I said before, on this mouse, and it feels pretty damn comfortable. I would say if you use that claw grip and you've got, you know, a similar hand size to me, which, by the way, my hand size is, you know, is large, but it's not like abnormally large or anything. Most people would probably have similar hand sizes to me, so you know, I'd say this mouse is definitely worth the try, and considering it's so cheap, I mean, I don't really see why not. Alright, so on to the weight. The Viper Mini only weighs at 61 grams, which is actually really light for being a mouse with no holes. You know, I don't know how Razer did that. It seems pretty incredible, to be honest, considering like a mouse like the Ultralight Pro is such a similar weight, and it's got holes all over the mouse. So I mean, kudos to Razer for that. And the cable on this mouse is probably one of the sort of drawbacks on this mouse, I'd say. It's not really the best cable. I'll just show you now. I'll move it around a bit. It seems pretty stiff. They said they're trying to advertise it as being paracord-like. They don't actually say that, but they said like Ultra Weave or something like that. I can't remember what the exact name is for this cable. You can kind of see there, it sort of looks like a braided cable. It's not a braided cable, thankfully, but I just feel like it's not as, you know, free feeling like some of the cables. So this is another stock cable that I have, and this is on the KPU, and it's a rubber cable, but it's actually more sort of light feeling than the Razer Viper's cable. So, or Viper Mini, I should say. So, I mean, this cable's gotten in the way a lot more for me than the KPU's has. But you know, I mean, I guess you could try and paracord this mouse. I tried paracording my Viper Mini. I did it. It worked, but I'm sorry, my normal Viper. I did it and it worked, but it was just very frustrating to do because it has a different connector, and it's very just, you know, I feel like Razer kind of don't want you to paracord just because of how much trouble it took to do it. But I mean, it's definitely possible. Some other people do it as well, so you can give that a shot. But just keep that in mind if you're not planning on modding this mouse or whatever, and the cable is important to you. You know, just definitely keep in mind that the cable is not going to be the best. The mouse fit on this mouse are thankfully pretty good. This is one of the good things about this mouse. They are these pure PTFE mouse feet. So no, these are not modded. I didn't put these on myself. These come with the mouse. So you get these with your mouse when you buy it. I would kind of wish I'd provide spares, but like I said before, I don't think Razer wants you to be modding this mouse just because of the way it's built and that sort of stuff. I mean, yeah, it's good to have nice stock feet on a mouse. Now also, while I've got the mouse flipped over, you can see that new lighting bar sort of thing underneath. Now I know this is not necessarily important to a lot of people. You know, lighting and that sort of stuff is just not really going to make you a better gamer. But I mean, just it is kind of cool, I guess. I don't actually have the software installed because I mean, I don't really need it installed. I can just change the DPI myself with the button that's on the top to what I need it to. But you guys can go ahead and you know, download the software if you'd like to. It's not too intrusive. Like it's been a lot better than it used to be, the Razer Synapse software. But it allows you to go more in depth with the lighting features on this mouse and that sort of stuff. But it looks pretty cool when it's on a mouse pad. You can sort of see that sort of glow that it puts, like an underglow. The Razer Viper doesn't have that for some reason. I don't know why they put it on the Mini, and it also happens to be cheaper. But you know, it's pretty cool. Now before I move on to doing the click sound tests and the shape comparison, I wanted to mention one last sort of thing. So that happens. This is the lift-off distance with the mouse. So I don't really know what about this mouse it is with the lift-off distance, but it feels just way too high. I don't know why it's like that. I didn't find a way to make it any lower in the settings. I lowered it all the way down in the Synapse software. I downloaded it just for the purpose of doing that, and it felt the same. So by default, it's already at the very lowest, it seems. But you know, it's very high, like this high off the ground or off the mouse pad, I should say, and it still tracks for some reason. So it's a little bit annoying. I'm not really sure if it's just mine. I've seen some people who've used the same mouse as well, and they don't even have that problem at all. So I don't know if it's really just a problem with mine or like other people get it as well. But I don't know. It's very odd. I don't really understand why that's like that. I did manage to get used to it though after a lot of Kovacs and whatever, and Aim Beast, of just playing different, you know, tracking scenarios and that sort of stuff, or quick timing ones where I've got to pick up my mouse and put it down again. I did manage to get used to it, but I mean, you know, it's just very odd to me why it's so high. I don't understand why it's designed like that. I wish it was as low for distance. It should always be as low as possible. So just keep that in mind. The sense is a little bit odd. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the basics of the mouse. Let's go ahead and move on to the sound test, and then of course the shape comparison. Alright, starting this off with the left click. then the right click. The side button that is facing toward the front, so I'm not really sure what number this is. I think it's 5, mouse button 5, but it's facing toward the front of the mouth, this one right here. And then mouse button 4, the one facing toward the back, this one right here. Now we're going to do the DPI button. And then the scroll wheel. It seems they're going up is a little bit louder, but they are pretty much, they're both really quiet anyways. You might not even be able to hear that scroll. And then we'll do the mouse button click. And that's all the clicks. Alright, so here we've got the FK2B. Of course, we got the Viper Mini. We have the S2 and the G-Wolves Hardy, which is the same shape as the Logitech G Pro Wireless. So this is a pretty good bunch of mice, I guess. They're all pretty similar in shape, so they have that sort of generic ambidextrous design. I do have an XM1, but that's an eggshell design. I don't really think that would really be worth comparing here, since it's a completely different sort of different shape. So these are all, got their own sort of similarities, I guess. Of course, they're all different, but I mean, let's go ahead and compare them. Alright, well that pretty much wraps it up for the video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more weekly content. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace out.